right, guys. So we're gonna jump into preparing the Parmesan now that we got the marinara sauce, Chef Anthony style, already prepared. Now we want to prepare the mixture to work the eggplant. So I'm gonna use an egg wash. So I cracked 3 eggs and I placed it already into the bowl. Okay, like so. I'm gonna add some water to this. Basically a cup. I don't need much than that. Half a cup of some cold water. And basically I take that and I beat it. So now it becomes an egg wash. Okay, beat it up pretty good. Completely mixed. Okay, that becomes my egg wash. Now, I'm also gonna put some, using some all-purpose flour. It's no sense and no use to use self-rising. I'm using some all-purpose flour. And in that all-purpose flour, I'm gonna basically put some salt and pepper inside of it. Basically salt, pepper, and garlic. And I'm doing that so that I could flavor the flour itself. Okay, and salt, pepper, and garlic. So basically using a little bit of salt, a little bit of black pepper, and some garlic, some granulated garlic. Right. Then I mix all of this in. Just basically stir it around with your hand. Just kind of blend the seasoned flour a little bit in. Not gonna see much of the seasoning, but it's in there. I promise you that it didn't disappear like abracadabra. They're waiting for whatever is gonna come to it. Now, here I have some planko breadcrumb. This is some planko, some Japanese planko breadcrumb mix. So I'll take the breadcrumb mix and I'm gonna pour some of that into a bowl. Depends on how much you're gonna need or you're gonna use. You place that into a bowl. Along with that, you're gonna also add in some Parmesan, some grated Parmesan. I'm using some grated Parmesan cheese. This brings a very good flavor to the crust of the eggplant. Whether you're using it for eggplant or you might want to use it for chicken breast, then you can choose to make it in. You can choose the same process means to either turn this into a chicken Parmesan or an eggplant Parmesan. So we're working with the eggplant Parmesan. And in addition to that, I'm gonna also add in some parsley flakes into that breadcrumb mix. And then I mix it all together. As you can see, as it blends, you could basically see everything is kind of in between each other, and you just have a nice little flatbed of your mixture. So you have your egg wash, seasoned flour, your breadcrumb mix. All right. Now I'm gonna take the eggplant, get all this out of the way. As I said, the eggplant comes in different variation of size, but our main concern is to utilize a good eggplant. So
black one in there?
These are the macros. Alright, so want to use a good serrated knife, and the purpose of that is because the actual lateral skin part of the eggplant, as you can see, is shiny and is very smooth. So you don't want to use a dull knife against it, because then you stand a risk of cutting yourself. So utilizing a nice rounded or thick size of an eggplant, you want to then go ahead and you want to get a nice thick round out of it. So you're going to come out from the back end of the eggplant, and you're basically going to cut that part off. You're not going to need that part, okay? You're not going to need that part. Then you want to go at least an inch thick, okay? You want to go about an inch thick. You know, your finger joints tells you this is 1 inch. Okay, you could just utilize your fingers and say, okay, that would be about an inch. So we want to go just a little slight underneath an inch, which is about 3/4. Okay, and we want to go ahead and want to make sure we get some precise cut. Notice as I'm doing, I'm bringing everything to that same design or that same cut. Okay, keep moving it back. After a while, your eyes become a catcher for it. And as you're working your eggplant, notice that as you get closer to the top, it shrinks back down to the size. So basically, whatever the size is at the start, where you cut out, that's what you're gonna cut out at the top. You basically need just the body, the embodiment part of the eggplant to do what you really need it to do. Okay. All right. So alongside with this, now we're gonna utilize these eggplants here, and we're gonna then go from here to 3 process. It's called 3 process motion. From the batter, from the egg wash to the flour. You could put more than one on the inside. So I'm sorry, I started that wrong. You got to go to the flour first, and the purpose and reason behind it is because as you cut the vegetable, keep in mind that it has a little bit of what you call it's just like us, that if we get cut, we bleed. So it has that nice little glaze touch. So basically, you want to basically get some flour, that seasoned flour, that closer to the eggplant. Then you go from there to the egg wash. All right. And now the final stage from the egg wash, now you come over into the breadcrumb mix. Again, you want to go from the flour that has all the seasonings that gets directly onto the eggplant. You go on over to your egg wash. You want to make sure that it's completely dredged in the egg wash. Transfer that over to the breadcrumb mixture. All right, we're gonna repeat that until we are practically through. All right, now what you want to do next is that you want to take some of the breadcrumbs, kind of put some of that a little bit on the top part of the upper part of the eggplant parmesan, and then you want to pat that. You want to pat it so that you know that, and then you flip it over, pat it again. want to make sure that the eggplant is practically covered in the breadcrumb mix. Right, and then as you remove it from there, you don't need to shake off too heavy. Slight, give it a slight little shake just to take out the extra excess, and you bring it over. You can lay it out like this first prior to putting it to the saute pan, is what we're gonna do in the very next step. Go ahead and complete the last little bit that we have here. Again, we remove it. You know, it's everything over here now is totally crusted, as we can see. This is our eggplant. We can see basically all of the herbs from the mixture that has been inputted onto that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get the saute pan ready. We're gonna put some canola oil. Finish the rest of that tomorrow. Just gonna make that little quick batch. When I make the pasta, then we'll finish the rest of it. I just want to take a test run on this very quick. Bring it all over. Right here. Angle it this way. Empty this way. Come 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 this way.
together, right up in the
It's hiding away from me. The oil gotta get hot. Alrighty, our oil is, you can see that it's at a height, at a heat. You don't want it to be too hot. For the purpose, you don't want this burned. You want this to be seared. Again, searing in its flavor. All right. An eye on it. Grease is too hot. Keep in mind that you gotta keep an eye watch on it so that it doesn't burn. You want to have that nice golden brown. So as you can see, I turned one of them pretty quick because it started getting a little bit hot on that spot. Want a nice golden brown texture is what you're looking for. Okay. Go ahead and take that one out. Get ready to turn this one over. Check these others.
good dark.
See? You want the same consistency amongst all of them. So you have to let it sit for a little bit. If it's not brown enough on one side, then let it sit in for a little bit longer. While these last two are finishing up, we're gonna add that special marinara sauce that we prepared, and we're gonna here's some of the special marinara sauce that we prepared on top of the eggplant. Last two. Get involved in the sauce as well. Ready? I just turned the oven on, so the oven is gonna get up to 350 real quick. Now basically all I'm doing is to put the shredded mozzarella on top. Ready? Now we're going to place this into the oven. And the convectional oven is not going to take long. So once the oven is already at 350, we put this in within a minute. That should be coming out ready to serve. And as I stated, that we're going to do the garlic pasta, and basically it's going to be the garlic pasta with the eggplant, with the cheese down, and you know, just a little touch of the chef style, a little parsley on it, and the rest is history. It's going to be history once you dig into it. So we're going to see what it is, final stage of the completeness.